Hola familia, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about Ambi Sacha microdose tincture, as well as the properties of the Yagé leaves or the Ayahuasca leaves, and the other products that have it. So first, I'll share a little bit about the Banisteropsis caapi vine, which is the Ayahuasca or the Yagé vine. This is one of two plants that make the ayahuasca brew. And depending on the region or the tribe that is working with the ayahuasca, they will utilize this vine with another leaf, another plant. In some traditions, it's chacruna. In others, it's chagropanga. And other tribes also add other plants as well. For the Yagé traditions of Colombia, the Yagé, the Colombian ayahuasca, is made with the Yagé vine, the Banisteropsis caapi, and the chagropanga. The chagropanga, or the chacruna, has the DMT, and the vine has the MAOI inhibitor, which is utilized to activate the DMT in the second plant. And so together, when they're brewed together, they make the sacred visionary medicine known as ayahuasca. It has many different names. And this sacred medicine is so profound. Really, it's fascinating to think about how thousands of years ago, when all the tribes discovered their sacred medicine, and they each have their origin stories about how the ayahuasca came to them and how they received the guidance for how to brew the two plants together. But it's really fascinating to think about how before there was any contact between the tribes, when these regions were very isolated from one another, each one of these communities that work with this medicine received the guidance and the channeling and the messages from nature to take these two plants that are very autonomous and grow separately and combine them in this way. So I love thinking about that, and it really just speaks to the magic and the mystery of this sacred visionary plant. This brew has so many different healing properties for those who have worked with ayahuasca. It is an incredibly potent healing remedy utilized in a traditional ceremony for healing and spiritual evolution and growth. Here at Four Visions, we have a few different ways to work with this sacred plant medicine, primarily working with the ayahuasca vine. So like I mentioned, the ayahuasca vine, it doesn't have the DMT in it, but it has the energetic imprint of the vine, which has all of the information in the subtle frequencies of the design of this plant medicine. And so oftentimes people will work with just the vine or just the leaves of the vine to connect with the essence or the spirit of the sacred medicine of ayahuasca. This can be utilized in many different ways, but oftentimes is recommended to work with in preparation for going to work with ayahuasca, because it allows this opportunity to meet the spirit of the plant and for the plant spirit to also recognize and meet you and start to begin the work of preparation for whatever healing work is to be done when you go to ceremony. And it can also be utilized integration after you work with the medicine, because it allows for that cultivation of that connection with the plant, supporting the channel to stay open so that the information continues flowing through and the connection with the plant remains to fortify your work as you go translating the wisdom of the experience that you had through the spiritual encounter with the medicine into your everyday life. It can also be utilized for those who don't feel called to work with the medicine in that way or haven't had the opportunity to. And similar to in this preparation process, by working with the medicine of the Yagé leaves, you're entering into this process of encounter and starting to work with the subtle frequencies or the energetic frequencies of this sacred master plant. First, I'll show you the Ambi Sacha leaves, the Yagé Vine leaves. And so we have these now available in our bulk apothecary, and you can work with these leaves in a variety of different ways. But when you work with the Yagé leaves, they're typically worked with for energetic protection, spiritual fortification, amplification, expansion, grounding, integration are some of the main energetic properties of working with the leaves. And so you can make plant baths with the leaves. You can add them to your healing lotions, make lotions with them. And you can also Place them under your pillow before you go to bed, or put them in a mesh bag under your pillow, allowing this invocation of the spirit of the Yagé or the Ayahuasca to come in and share and connect with your dream space, informing your dreams, because we do a lot of spiritual journeying and expansion in our dream work. So even if we're not conscious of it, when we go to sleep, we're going to the other worlds, the other dimensions, the invisible world, and there's information there for us. So when we work with plant spirits and plant allies to accompany the dream space, what we're doing is setting that intention for expansion of our spiritual selves and connection within those other planes. So we have our Ambi Sacha tincture, which is one of the very first tinctures that we added to our line many years ago, and it's become, one of our best sellers. And we're so grateful for the opportunity to share this sacred medicine with our community. And the Ambi Sacha tincture is simply the Yagé vine or the ayahuasca vine, distilled in organic cane alcohol. But then there's this other very beautiful process that takes place in the preparation of this particular tincture that makes it a little different than other ayahuasca microdoses that you might find on the internet. And that is that there's a process of infusion of prayers, chants, and the tradition of the Yagé culture that is infused into every single bottle. And so the traditional healer and botanist who makes this medicine invokes the prayers and the blessings of the stewards or the guardians of their tradition to come and bless this sacred bottle so that you feel the connection with the culture and the origin of this sacred plant when you go to take it. The Ambi Sacha is a very, very unique and powerful medicine to work with because it works on the physical body, the spiritual body, and the mental or emotional bodies. But again, it really depends on how we work with it and our intention behind working with it. And so if you are looking for grounding or physical body vitality, if you are looking for integration support or immunity, strength, and some of the benefits for the physical body, we recommend working with the tincture in the morning upon rising as you set your intentions for your day, calling in the strength of creation and the strength of nature to accompany you in that day, and setting your intentions for how you want to move through that day, taking 6 to 10 drops under the tongue, or you can also, all of our tinctures can be put into a glass of water or juice if the taste is strong for you. But again, always with that intention and prayer before we commune with the plant. And then if you're looking for spiritual study, spiritual expansion, if you are desiring to tap into dream study work, or you're interested in tapping into the dream space in that way, or perhaps you're looking for spiritual evolution and growth, or working with a specific theme in your life that's requiring a lot of spiritual fortitude and energy, then we recommend working with this tincture in a slightly different way. Before going to bed, we recommend that you meditate for 10 to 15 minutes and take a moment to center yourself and get really clear. This can also be a moment to reflect on how the day went and what came up for you that day, especially if there's something strong that's moving through you, getting really clear on what progress was made in that. If it was a specific interaction, how did you show up in that interaction? How is whatever belief or pattern that you're working with presenting itself in the 12 hours? And then you center, reflect, understand where you're at in the process, and then you go to work with the Ambi Sacha. So you take it right before bed, and then you will go to sleep immediately, and then go right into the dream space, really praying before you lie down that this connection, that this portal be open, and that you can receive the messages and the information from the plant teacher. And then upon rising, taking those first moments when you first open your eyes to really allow yourself to reflect and recalibrate, feel what it feels like to be in your body, take note of the subtle shifts that you might feel from working with the tincture. Perhaps if you had any strong dreams that you remember, taking time to journal or write those down, and really reflecting on and tuning into the subtlety of your experience working with this tincture. I can't reiterate enough that it's a very subtle but profound experience while it's not like a flower essence, essentially, because it's the vine of the Yagé without the ayahuasca leaves, it is the energetic blueprint of the plant. And so you're really working with these subtle frequencies, and it's really best to quiet the mind when we're working with this plant in this way and really set that intention for tapping into the more subtle vibrations and quieter places and spaces within ourselves. So these are the two different ways where you can work with the Ambi Sacha tincture, and it's an incredible ally to have. You can work with it for a period of 30 days, take a few weeks off to integrate, process, and then if you feel called, go into another 2 to 4 week cycle. Or you can work with it ongoing as you feel. And you can also call upon it if there's certain moments that you're really feeling like you need to realign with that plant and call upon the strength and the medicine and the spiritual information that the ayahuasca holds and contains. It can be really supportive for realigning ourselves, for checking back in, especially if we're doing integration work in the time in between ceremonies, to tap into this medicine and go back to the plant and say, I just want to say hi, I just want to check in and reevaluate how this process is going, get some spiritual fortification from your essence and receive that for my own being to continue doing this work that I'm doing and this healing that I'm partaking in. And so this way is very, very beautiful to work with it. I'll just mention really quickly the last product that we have for working with the ayahuasca leaves, and that would be through our Vine of the Soul, Hape, which is also a very well-loved medicine. So for those who work with Hape, working with the Vine of the Soul, especially in combination with the Ambi Sacha tincture or in combination with plant baths with Yagé leaves, or also, for example, our Chandor lotion has Yagé leaves in it. So if you're wanting to align with the plant, sometimes creating a protocol where we're utilizing it in a multitude of different ways can be really supportive, because then we're really imbuing ourselves with the spirit of the frequency of that particular plant. So I hope this was helpful for you. Let us know if you have any questions, and make sure to comment on this video and let us know what else you want us to share about. Thank you.